I thought you guys might like to see a little video of my mock bug out location. I say mock because it's not my #1 location, it's kind of my #2 location. The reason for that is it's kind of close to a town. You know, there are people over there right now, as a matter of fact, on the other side of the river. Still a pretty good bug out location due to the fact that it's pretty hard to get over here unless you get a boat. And I got a boat that I can carry with me to this island. You know, I don't live that far away, so I can just carry it down to the river. I can get here by kayak. My bug out bag goes right in the back of the kayak. And the water's pretty calm here too, except when it's storming out. But you can tell the water doesn't get all the way to the top. So it's safe. Anyways, this end of the island has this little lagoon type area, which is sometimes a lot higher. I used to be able to kayak right over that log and down further. But it's a great little lagoon. There's turtles, big turtles, snapping turtles, regular turtles, painted turtles. Tons of fish, tons of minnows, tons of freshwater clams, all in this little area. I could probably eat for weeks here before I scared everything away. And of course, on the other side of the river, there is amazing bass fishing. You try and fish offshore over on that side, as I've tried a few times, catch these little tiny bass, sunfish. Around this island, every bass I catch is big. I'll do a video later of that if people want to see it. But you can cast your line in there and pull out a bass nearly every cast if you're using a worm. If you don't have a worm, there's lots of freshwater mussels you could use as bait, as well as snails. And you can probably dig up some worms and other insects around here too. Anyways, a little further in is where I would have my camp. Actually, if it was a real emergency bug out sort of thing, I'd probably go a little deeper into the island to mask the smoke from campfires and all that from people on shore. But for camping purposes, this is a good spot. You know, I don't think anybody else goes out here because I've left stuff out here and I've come back months later and it's been untouched. There was a goose nest over there with 3 giant beautiful eggs. You know, if kids came out here, they'd probably smash those eggs, or, you know, kids are jerks like that. I came back and, you know, 2 of them were hatched and the other egg was sitting in there unbroken, ice cold. See if I can see a turtle. Oh, look there. There's a little hole right next to where I get all my bug out gear, where I just did that video with a tripod. But there were almost always turtles over here, but I think I've scared them off with all my noise. There was a big, oh, there's a fish. I don't know if you can see that on camera. There are tons of fish in here actually, but there's one close to the surface right here a second ago. Is that it? Maybe you saw it, maybe you didn't. On these vlogs though, it's usually several turtles. And they're very easy to catch in a kayak because you can just drift right up to them and pick them up. You know, if you try and get in the water close to shore, they run away, they hear you and they run away, but drift up in a kayak and they won't see you coming or hear you coming. There are a lot of dead birch trees and live birch trees on this island, which is an amazing fire starter. And normally I'd feel bad about using birch bark to start a fire, but since there's a lot of dead trees as well, I got plenty of bark. I don't have to hurt a live tree. There are porcupines on this island. That's either beavers or porcupines. Somebody told me porcupines. You know, a beaver would cut down the tree, but the porcupine's eating the tree. It almost looks like it's melted. There are lots of blueberry bushes around here, right next to my bug out spot there. or my bug out bag I should say. There's a whole mess of blueberries. And there's also raspberries, blackberries, winter berries. On this island there's lots of acorns. You can probably see them right on the ground there. I've seen probably 20 different varieties of edible plants. There's a lot more blueberries right here, although it's past season, they've all been eaten. Oh, look at that. It doesn't have the flowers on it right now, but that's a lady's slipper plant, I believe, which is a rare orchid. They are the state flower of New Hampshire. I'm in Maine, but those are illegal to pick in New Hampshire, at least. I don't know about Maine. But they're pretty when they have flowers. You can see the lagoon keeps going on, and then it kind of stops off over there. Any turtles? Turtles might also have gone back in the water because the sun has stopped shining and they have no reason to be on the log anymore. There's also lots of mushrooms. However, I don't know anything about mushrooms and I would not risk eating them. Lots and lots of dead timber. Very easy to start a fire out here. And this island goes on for another 300, 400 feet. Someday I will do a walk around the entire island if you want to see. Leave a note if you do.